are. So good evening, everyone. This is our last one of the series, our seventh evening chat. Okay, our seventh evening webinar. And I'm sure that many of you haven't quite finished the series, and that's okay. And I know that some of you have and are wanting to know about, what comes next. So we're going to talk about all of these things tonight. So look forward to saying hi to all of you light body students, light body graduates. You're now actually all called light body graduates, and that's enables you to do all the other light body work. You are now able to choose any light body course that you want to take, and you're able to go to the live seminars because you are graduates. So this is what gets you there. And as you've noticed from going through the course, this last piece, the intensity of the last two, going from the connecting to the Polonia and then into the V and into light body cocoon, the core cocoon, the ball and flower, all those things really do lift the energies up to some pretty amazing zones that really allow you to travel wherever you want to go. So it's a good launch pad. So what you've done is you've successfully launched the V, the Polonia, and then the journeys following that up to like the ball of flower journeys, the folding back of the V, all those things, elevating you into the beginning of the many, many journeys of light body. And light body journeys begin with going through the Polonia and getting into the light body cocoon and going from there. So you are ready to go, basically. Okay, so I'm wondering, I see that I have attendees out there, but no one said hello. So I'm really hoping that someone says hi. So I'm going to say hi. And I'm hoping that you can hear me and everything is working well on this computer. If it's not, chat to me. Okay. So I just want to check, see that there's no one hanging out there trying to get in. Okay. Okay, so I have had some messages from folks. Of course, it's summer. It's time when not everybody can be around, but Chris is here. Hi, Chris. Glad that you're able to be on. And Luciana, yes, hello. Nice to have you here. Mukti is not able to be with us tonight because she is teaching a class that runs until 9, so she had a bit of a conflict. Caroline's golfing will be a little late coming in, but I think she'll be able to join in. And Luke is off with his family in Banff. So we definitely have some people out there roaming around. Some of our regulars aren't able to be here. So I'm hoping that everyone else who is here is able to say hi. I see some other people out there in the background. So when you get a chance, please let me know that that you're there. and look forward to hearing about the journeys. So Luciana had a great share with me about her journey on with an email, and I hope that she would like to share that with all of you. So that would be great. The next step from this class that I'm looking at, because there were two directions to go. One was to look at the filling in the frequencies, which is another large course. And the other option is to go towards something called the self-exciting, which is sort of the natural progression from what we have just done. It's just like, just keep going a little further. And that's the direction that I've decided to move in. And I will let you all know. I'm going to give us a little break and probably start that up in September. And at the same time, I will start another basic awakening series. So if you have friends, family, anyone who you love and care about, who you want to have on the same page as you, I would definitely recommend them doing this. It's just such an amazing journey and so transformational. So powerful to be spending time in other dimensions that have more intense energy, that have more light, that are higher frequency. It allows you to see the world in a different way. It allows you to have a new perspective on your life and everyone else around you. Perspective that is more compassionate, more loving. Oh, just a moment. Something's cooking. Sorry about that. Turn things off. Okay. So allowing yourself to be immersed in these higher frequencies changes who you are. It brings all of who you are into a higher vibration and a higher resonance. And that's a very positive thing, unless, of course, you expect all the world to change around you to fit into your new harmonious way of being. But generally, we don't have that happen for us. But we can be in the world in a much better way when we ourselves are living from a more conscious, more expansive state. When we experience and know that this isn't, that the physical reality that we're a part of isn't all there is, that we have a lot of, we spend time and are familiar with and are able to move into and journey in these other realities. And also knowing that you can create more harmony and peace in your life through being in that higher state of consciousness, higher plane of awareness. Okay, so I'm wondering if, now I see there's 5 out there. It's definitely a summer night and everybody's wanting to come in and get on their computer. And I can't blame them, but it'd be great if you'd say hi. And I'm in my new house. You may have noticed that you haven't seen this background before. So I'm sort of in my dining room. Of course, it's a new move-in, so things aren't really put away yet. I was going to show you where I am and what I'm looking at, because my beautiful day. I hope that the show it to you out the window. Quite beautiful, kind of comes around this way and back the other way, a beautiful oak tree. So just want to share that with you. Hi, Caroline. Back from golfing in time. Yay. So, welcome. Glad that you are here. So, love to have some comments, questions. Let me know how far you are along in the series. I'm sure that, I know that everyone hasn't completed yet. And people are taking their time, but I'm just very glad because I'm hearing about the good experiences that people are having. And that's the most important part. To remember that there's no right way to do it. So sometimes you think that you need to get the journey as it's maybe called out by Dwayne or by Sanaya, and that yours needs to match up with what they're saying. And one of the things to remember is, oh, hi, Mandy. One thing to remember is that you know, there are some of these experiences that I don't have the same as that which is called out. And so I have my own version. Things happen in the way that they happen to me. And so for me, my experience is, that's my experience. So that's the right experience for me to have. These destinations, everyone doesn't see these things in the same way. Everyone doesn't experience the V, for example, in the same way. Some people will find it quite a solid, it has solidity. Other people will just experience it as a cone, an energetic cone that just comes down into them and sort of dissolves. Hi, Nadia. Glad to have you with us. So, and then other people will have it as streams of light, sort of scaly, shimmery light, many different ways of experiencing that. And some people have it more, almost more plant-like. Then when it folds down, it is like that, like a flower that is actually unfolding that they're in. There are just a lot of different ways. And as long as you have the feeling of the energy, that you go through an energy transformation at that point, an energy shift, then that's fine, because that's all we're really looking for, is that shift of consciousness. And so just going for that, just being aware of that's what you're looking for. When you go through the V, it's not about the V, what the V looks like, any of those things. It's more about different energetic experiences in the V. Now, for example, there is a stable point in the V. The stable point being when it folds back and it comes to more of a horizontal plane. It just folds back and stays there, and you're just about to kind of lift off. So there's a point there that's a stable point. And so these are different energetic experiences, and Da-Ben is usually, really calling these out and bringing your attention to them and having you sort of wait for that shift. And so it's that stable point, and then the shift, the actual lifting up, and you'll feel that lifting up. And so if you feel those things, that's all you really need. So I know that some people are staying wanting to stay and do some practices over and over again because they're wanting to kind of get them better. But just make sure that if you are hanging out and trying to get them better, that you're not that you're not looking at a visual experience that you are looking for, that you're just, instead that you're just wanting to get the, a better, clearer experience of the energy. And so that would be the main focus there. It is about the energy, of course. Okay, so I want some questions. So I can just do something other than sit here and talk. I want to have a little bit of something from, doesn't matter which, now this is the grand finale, so you can ask a question from any seminar at all. So anything that you're thinking about, whether it be on going back to the Nuya Dinya, which seems like a long ways away at this point, but everywhere back from the Nuya Dinya, right up to core cocoon, and creating that light body cocoon. And anything in between, please feel free to let me know. So I really appreciate some input. And we have Chris. Okay. Sometimes the experience is foggy, so I do the meditation again until I follow everything that is happening. Okay. Well, that sounds like a good way to do it, especially with the lack of clarity. Sometimes, redoing them is great. And sometimes the first time through, you go on the journey and you're not maybe sure exactly what happened. You just kind of went along for the ride. And so you can gain more precision by doing them again and taking time to really pay attention to all of those different aspects of the experience, the points where the energy shifts are the main thing, and also paying attention to your part in that energetic shift. What skill might be required for that energetic shift to occur. So the energetic shift may just require you focusing and paying attention, and that'll take you to where you want to go. So there's different, just relaxing and expanding. How do I expand? How do I play in these energies? Okay, Luciana says, I notice I really have to be alert when I do these, or else I struggle not to fall into sleep. Usually helps if I have a bit of caffeine beforehand. Yes, well, no one says you can't, so I think you can. Green tea is a good thing to have beforehand, as a not go to sleep, a little bit smoother than coffee. So falling into sleep, the awake sleep border, as we call it, is not a bad thing. As long as you don't go all the way, as long as you learn to walk that edge in between awake and asleep. And that's when you're really at your deepest. When you're really on that edge, and you are starting to have vignettes, those little dream stories come up, and if it makes sense to you in that dream consciousness, but as soon as you move slightly back over into waking consciousness, maybe the whole thing falls into, doesn't make any sense to you. And so there's that going back and forth between awake and asleep. I guess there's some famous stories, like Einstein used to, I think it was Einstein, or maybe it was Thomas Edison or somebody. Apparently, somebody used to hold like a ball or an apple in their hand or something, and they would fall when they're trying to remember the information that they had coming in, and so when the ball dropped, that would wake them back up, and they would remember and get the answer. They would sort of lie down with a question in their mind, and that'd be a way of getting an answer. So yes, so the awake sleep border, and what you're doing there, every time you're on that awake sleep border and you're kind of going back and forth, that's actually the building of consciousness. So every time you do that, you're building out into the unconscious. It's the edge of consciousness. And by spending time on the edge of consciousness, you expand your consciousness into that realm. So it's actually very good that you are spending time there. And as long as you don't go, drift all the way across, then you kind of lose it. But, it's like learning to walk a tightrope. You have to kind of keep that balance and keep coming back. So good. I'm glad that that's where you are. That's a good place to be. Mandy says, I love Mandy again, I need more time alone. It cannot be in noisy environments, especially when you're working with the Ranthia. Yes, I know that the classic with Philip was that he would be turning off the refrigerator. So the refrigerator and also the heat, nothing would come on to disturb the absolute quiet time. And it's also a good reason why getting up in the middle of the night has also been a really good time to meditate. People meditate a lot in the middle of the night, as long as you can do that without completely, falling over, once again, that awake sleep border. So finding a way to do that. Of course, Philip and I both learned how to meditate with a lot of noise. So a noisy environment, as long as no one's like yelling at you, or your phone's not yelling at you. Oh, my phone. Sorry, I'll turn that off soon. Things that come into your consciousness suddenly. Just a moment. Okay, I'm plugging the phone here, so I don't have to worry about that going off at a bad time. Yes, so noisy environments like having the phone ring are not conducive, because there's something that will sort of jolt you and sort of bring you back. However, if there's ambient noise around and you don't have to do anything about it, you can definitely learn how to tune it out. And that's a skill, again, that you develop by being in that state quite a bit. So when you spend time in that state of consciousness, when you spend time meditating and there's some ambient noise, you will actually learn how to do that. So it's just a matter of lots of practice. And I do really mean a lot. So anyway, Luciana, really helpful to know that. Thanks, Wendy. So yes, you're very welcome, Luciana. Okay, Chris, during one of the V flower meditations, after ascending through the flattened out V, then talks about there being a large sphere like a planet. Yes, I interpreted that to be the clear light sun, or the deeper level of the Ranthia and Felonia, and place it directly above me, beaming down the core channel. I think Arn also touched on the sphere when we ascended through the V, and start bringing in the light of the soul. Is the sphere our personal soul or a more universal soul? Okay, so the V flower meditation, or with the ball flower meditation, that planet is usually just sort of above the horizon. It's a large sphere. And it's also like a doorway of light, a clear light sun. And it's not really a deeper level of the Rantia or the Polonia. It is more, it is something bigger than that. And but it's also, and in some ways like that though, because it's also another doorway. Usually it's not placed right above you coming down the heart channel, but that could be fun. There's nothing wrong with that, and just enjoy it. I think Oren also touched on the sphere when we ascended through the V, and that's also true. And bringing in the light of the soul. And yes, in the soul, there's also, they talk about the monad, in your personal monad in here. So the monad is considered to be the soul. And of course, as you keep going back, soul, you get right into all that is. So it's never really, hasn't really left being all that is, of course, because there's nothing that isn't all that is. But it is like a ray of all that is. And the farther that you move back towards it, into that, the more you are going back into the higher and higher aspects of your own personal consciousness and the evolution of your consciousness. And the farther back you go, you begin to be more and more connected to others. So because you're getting more towards the universal soul. So the farther that you go into these areas, or the more light that you become, the more you are part of or you experience yourself more as part of the oneness. You're never really not part of the oneness. You're never really not universal, but the oversoul is such a good word, a universal oversoul. So yes, as we move towards these places, we are moving more towards universal oversoul. That is quite true. Yeah, and that of course is why spending time in these states of consciousness is really, really important to spend time there, because that's how we become more filled with light, and we know ourselves to be more than an individual being. We know ourselves as this larger being. So, good question. Thank you for writing that. It's great. So, Mandy, more time alone. So, also behind. Does that mean you're also a little bit behind? No, it's just fine. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about that, but go at your pace. It's always good to work at your pace, but keep going. And I think that anyone out there will tell you who's gone further, like Chris, who's come right through the whole series, is that it really keeps just getting better and better. It gets more and more fun the farther that you go. And just to think this is just beginning, and that there's more to do after this. And in the beginning I was talking about offering another level of this, which is called radiant self-exciting. So this is the self-exciting being a way of gaining more and more energy. So it's a vitality, self-vitalizing, could say. So someone else has joined us, so say hello, folks that are out there. Glad that you are able to be here with us and participate. Okay. myself some more tea. Yeah, there's a lot of really great stuff in this last part. Okay, so Chris says, I ended up centering the sphere above, beaming down to the Felonia to the Saha. Okay, the Saha is spinning in opposite directions. Can we bring the spheres into the Felonia? Huh. Wow, well that sounds really pretty cool. I haven't actually ever experimented with that, but you can certainly, you can experiment with it if you like. So bring the spheres into the Felonia. Huh. Let me see. Now, what I get is that they will actually, as you move into the Felonia, that they would, or as you're trying to move them back in towards the Renari cocoon, that they will dissolve because they are actually from a different set of frequencies. So, yeah, everything's spinning on the axis of the core channel. Can we bring the sphere of the planet into the Felonia? Well, if you make it a really big Felonia, that's an interesting question. Okay, you can bring that into the Felonia. I always think of the Felonia the other direction. I'm always looking at it moving out through the Felonia and to the light body cocoon. So core cocoon out to the V and out to the cocoon. Okay, keeping the Saha where it is. Okay. Oh, okay, bring the sphere. Okay, I get it. See what you're saying. The sphere of the planet into the Felonia. Okay, so we're bringing that down. Well, I just tried it myself. It feels really good. It's a just really nice, intense kind of a feeling. Bringing that down into the Felonia. Yeah, for me, it won't go past. It won't go. It just goes into the Felonia. But it doesn't go through the Felonia. But it feels really good. So that's pretty cool. Feels really powerful. Quite enjoyed that little experience. So thank you for the suggestion. Boy, if you want a little pick me up and you don't want to have to do caffeine, maybe work like caffeine. Who knows? Maybe I'll be awake all night. But anyway, bringing the planet into the ball into the Felonia is kind of a cool little experience. Okay, well, yeah, I just kind of invited that in there, and it was quite nice. Anyway, so you can play with these. So that's part of the joy of all of this is that you can play with it, and something I can recommend that you do. So I'm going to take a moment here. I want to describe to you the Radiant Self-Exciting series. So in this series, there are 24 different meditations. The first one, introduction. Then we have emotional flow and mental fluidity. experience now, updating at this level, updating the light body due to increase in your skills, updating the light body due to external energy shifts, light body core cocoon, light around thoughts, introduction to transmission, spinning in all of the cocoon step 1, spinning in all of the cocoon step 2, the vibrations, self-exciting, first stage through spinning, and then finding an issue as energy, self-exciting by the cocoon dissolving. Then lift out, basic energy. Self-exciting, expand and solidify with V. Self-exciting through core cocoon. 16, setting self-exciting. 17, using self-exciting energies with the grid work. 18, lift out using self-exciting. 19, self-exciting, combining all elements. 20, self-exciting, exploring V Felonia energy connections. 21, self-exciting play, falling in, safe landings. 22, self-exciting as introduction to natural speed. 23, surrounding areas of no awareness with awareness. And 24, self-exciting, bringing it all together. So that is the self-exciting series. This series, you explore more depth the skills required to get into and stay on the upward spiral where everything you do contributes to increasing your light. And all the energies around you take you higher. You'll explore ways to deepen your experience of being in the flow and to enhance your ability to see and live your higher purpose from moment to moment. You'll explore strategies about living in ways that keep you on an upward spiral, how to find solutions, how to move through stuck areas, and how to stop pushing and wait for right timing. You will look at ways to acquire insight about an area or to understand it as energy so you can shift it. Okay, so that's a little bit about this course that I think you would enjoy. Okay. So now I got some more questions. Thank you. Nadia says, oh, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy. Taking a couple of months break from the meditation. We started back a few days ago and we've done 3 meditations since then. I've taken the approach of just feeling the energy of Daben's words, not trying to do any kind of visualizing. I really liked this because it allows me to experience the energy in my body rather than going into my head trying to do the visualization. Yes, I usually get tired after about 10 minutes and I've been lying down for the remainder of the meditation and usually falling into an empty mind kind of sleep has been feeling very beneficial. Well, that's really true. And that empty mind kind of sleep, that state that it's taking you to sounds very healing. Sounds like just what you need at the moment. And absolutely, just go on the energy. I'm not visual. I'm becoming more visual with time. So that's good that you can develop your visual skills. And sometimes I'm always like really thrilled when I'm having a bunch of visuals. But I spend a lot of the time doing these meditations where it's purely an energetic experience. But the descriptions of the visuals are actually helpful because in many ways those descriptions do translate into the energies. So there's a really good correlation between the visual and the visual that he's describing and the actual energy that he's in. I'm not even sure that he's totally visual about it. When you're in those energies and you're having to describe them, as someone who also, of course, channels and leads meditations, having visuals to describe, making visual descriptions is something that you're going to come up with just because you need to be able to communicate what the space is that you're in. And 10 minutes and lying down for the remainder of the meditation, usually falling into an empty mind kind of sleep. Yeah, that's great. Especially leave, certainly don't turn that meditation off, but just lay there in that empty mind kind of a state, whether you are awake or asleep. I was telling everybody last week, and what I using what now I describe as my geeky headset, sleep on headset, and so it's great for waking up and listening to a meditation and falling asleep, and I might wake up a few hours later and there's still meditations going, and I feel like some really good energy has sort of gone in there just because I've been sleeping with those meditations going, so I don't think it hurts. And if you can't sleep, then you can do that kind of awake sleep border, so that's also great. So Luciana like to say, I noticed the course material says that many changes happen in our lives because we are bringing in more light and higher frequencies. Can you explain a bit more about this? Is it because we run the energies repeatedly, and thus if we stop, the light will diminish? Or is it because we bring in this light, it is always there, and we just go higher and higher? Yes, as you bring in the light, you bring in more lights and frequencies, and it's pretty hard to go back and undo the consciousness that you built. And so bringing in light is another way of saying that you are cultivating or building your consciousness. And so when you become more conscious, you have to kind of work on becoming unconscious, but you can do it if you get very determined to probably not meditate and really dumb yourself down. Just read the newspaper, but you probably won't be able to do that. Yes, we bring these changes in our lives because of this light and the higher frequencies, and because you are living from that, and as like attracts like, and so you're going to be attracting higher frequencies towards you. And the more that you are running and you are in these energies, the more they will grow. If we stop, well, yes, if you stop, you can sort of fall out of that state. So the idea here is to maintain your connection to the light. Let it be part of your life, and it's not like a fix or something, but we want it to always be part of who we are. Okay, so I'm just answering this question from Luciana. So once you bring in this light, so it's always there, and yes, and then you go higher and higher. Yes, great, thank you for the question. Sylvia says, I'm joining at 7:30, also behind with levels 5 and 6. Still to begin, so the terminology here is not useful or familiar to me yet. Wish that you included another 2 webinars in your program. Overall, I always feel at peace and revitalized after each meditation. So I would say that the good news is that you can go back and listen to those 2 because they are on YouTube. So go back and listen to the one from last time. And that'll be great. So you can listen to 5, and then after you've finished level 5, you can go back and listen to that YouTube. And then after you're done level 6, you can go back and listen to this one. So they will be there for you. So that's great. Overall, I always feel at peace and revitalized after each meditation. I'm still not actually seeing each energy center. Well, we don't want to get detached to any of those ideas that things have to happen a certain way. So don't worry about the whole seeing thing. I don't always see them. I see them more than I used to. And that's with many years of practice. Except I really feel and see the paia, the third eye the most. Well, that's pretty cool. I also have gone through a period of falling asleep or dozing through the meditations. taking time midday or earlier in the day when not tired is probably very helpful. Let's see, you left it off at, oh, tired is the best time for me, yes. Yeah, that sounds good. You're seeing the paella, which is great. I mean, if the other ones aren't clear, it's neat that you've got that one clear. I think paella is one of the hardest ones for me to see. So there's how that works. Who knows? But yes, just keep with it. Yeah, so paella was the hardest one for me to see. Of all of them, you know, that's the one that is sort of most visually elusive for me. So, hey, you're going to see that one. Yeah, and it's really good to do these, like, you know, in the morning, like get up and do a couple things and then come back. And if I just wake up and do the meditation, I'll often fall back to sleep. So it's good to get up and then go back and sit in the morning and do the meditations. And that's a good way to stay awake. Okay. So thank you for all these questions. You go, guys. This is great. So Chris says, I feel like sleeping after the meditations too. Wake up feeling filled with energy. Yes, it is always a good thing. You can get it. You can have like the best sleep. The sleep's very much like if you fall asleep on the acupuncture table or something like that, where it's not really sleep. It's like you've really gone to an incredible deep place. Very awesome to drop into those states. So, yeah, so very good, filled with energy, great. Mario, hi Mario. I'm just glad you're here, yay. And Mario, come visit, come help me unpack. Mario, come help me unpack. Anyway, Mario's going to come visit me and help me unpack some more. That'd be great. Oh, Nadia. And as Jeremy mentioned, I dropped off of the Light Body Map for a couple of months. Thanks to inspiring talk from Luciana, I've started back on a meditation per day diet and enjoying the subtle states of consciousness that I have trouble achieving with regular meditation. It's still the Renari, but so far the points that I feel the most and that seem to elicit the most charge are the Nuya, Dinya, and Dreo. I have to work on not being attached to feeling something special. In any case, I'm very grateful to be back on track. Yeah, you have such good ones to come. So if you're a couple back, you're going to have such a good time because there's all this fabulous stuff ahead. So I'm still at the Renari, yes. But yeah, you'll be good. Just keep going. It's the best is still to come. And I think you'll have some really good stuff. I mean, there's the one that's right after the Ronthia that sort of feels like, oh, we're just like kind of rehashing everything. And then you kind of get going again, you kind of get moving on. But then when you get into the last couple, it is, you see why that was all worth it. So yes, keep going. So Lucienne says, no, I don't want to go back, that's for sure. Definitely want to maintain this. It's been some pretty awesome things. It's brought some pretty awesome things so far. Yay, yes, that is really, really great. Okay, Chris, Oren does some meditations where we bring in the sphere of our personal soul. Do we just infuse it into our energy body or into the heart center? The heart center seems to be the main focus in these practices. Yeah, I think the heart center is definitely the place where all of this comes into. Yeah, personal soul. Yeah, it's all very, very heart oriented. So, yes. heart center. And it's great because it's really different to be doing this kind of work and moving in and out through the heart. And one of the things that I love about this is that it moves through the heart and not through the head. And moving through the heart brings a lot more consciousness. That there is a huge amount of places that you can go through, like the Paya, but it doesn't have this, doesn't allow you to go there as fully and completely with all of your consciousness as happens when you move through the Polonia, through the heart. So that dropping back down and finding that point of light, moving out through that is awesome. It's one of the things about this whole practice that's so amazing. Chris, I found that these practices have brought my outer life to a higher level of vibration as well. Yes, that is really, really true. And that's one of the extremely exciting aspects of this, again, is that the inner, outer, all are moved into higher levels of vibration. And if you're doing medical Qigong, again, this is just so amazing to get to add all of this consciousness to the work that you do so that you are able to, or if you're channeling, I mean, like, this is nothing, all kinds of channeling, this is fabulous for, because you are going into these places where you are able to move around and to connect into these higher consciousnesses. And you certainly aren't in any danger of getting hooked up with any lower consciousness. You just, live in these higher fields of energy. Anyway, so good. Let's see. Sylvie had another question. Is it correct to always keep holding or keep awareness of the lower energy centers, Moomin, simultaneously our focus on the upper energy centers from the Rantya, Paya, Renara, who do you refer to adjusting the new cone throughout? So I assume that we keep awareness of these lower centers. No, you don't really don't keep your awareness on them all the time. You can go back and just check them. But often you're just getting out there and you're going places, and you don't need to, check out what's going on at home unless you feel like you need to. So especially when you get out there through the Polonia, you are out there and you're going to be more interested in what's going on in the light body cocoon than you are back in the lower energy body centers and the Renari cocoon. So, yes. Okay, and from Luciana, yes, I'm glad that you, thank you, Luciana, for getting them on track. So Mari says, I noticed that after I do yoga and Qigong, it enhances the experience, like increasing the flow of energy. Yes, that is great. I love the little guy you've got winking there on the screen. That's cool. So, yes. So, yeah, good to build your energy up. So, Qigong, if you don't want to fall asleep, sit down and do meditations after doing your Qigong, which is actually something that I do. I find that as, again, a really good time. So, do some Qigong, do your meditation or meditations, like do a couple, and then go for a walk and reflect on your experience. And that's our very sort of a scenario that I really enjoy, to have, to do them in that way. Okay. Mario, sounds good. Yes. Yes, you're coming over to help me out. Although my arm goes up very high and I can even lift it up on my own. Oh, just don't lift heavy things. So, a lot better than when it was in the sling. So, very happy. It's coming back, and probably helping. Moving is probably good for it because it gets worked to the max, and that's a good thing. So Mario says, I really notice the meditation increases in awareness versus when I don't run the centers. Regular meditation. Yes, so when you just do a regular meditation versus doing light body meditation. Yeah, I mean, there's places that you can go when you do the centers that just drops you into that deep place, that wonderful launch pad for getting out into these really amazing states of consciousness. So, highly recommended. Okay, so I'm all out of questions. That was such a great bunch of questions. Totally enjoyed that. So, any comments on my answers or more questions that you'd like to ask? Now is the chance. Also, you all have some, or I think almost everyone has some time with me one-on-one, especially those of you who are behind. And if you are feeling that you are stuck in any way, don't forget that you have the opportunity to, yeah, yay, thanks, Sylvia. Yes, I know. I'm actually really stoked about my arm doing all the things that it's doing now. I can tell it's going to be just fine. It does all sorts of great stuff. Yes, I am. I'm close to this. Well, I'm on the Mount. I'm actually on Bald Mountain watershed, but that's just right across. It's all part of, runs together into. If I go up my road, quarter of a mile, I can get onto the trails that go Mount Tam, go to the coast, connect to the Pacific Coast Trail, everything. So I'm just super close to the wilderness here. We have mountain lions that live on the top of our hill. So apparently a little family up there. It's kind of exciting. Anyway, I was talking, so anytime, please do take advantage of those sessions. So, yes. Luciana. Okay. Sometimes I feel like there's so much going on and I'm being so shaken up in a way that it sometimes causes anxiety. Yeah, it doesn't how to chill more and take in the changes more graciously. Okay, so shaken up in a way that causes anxiety. So sometimes these meditations are shaking us up, and another way to say that is waking us up, because when we're being shaken, we're generally being awakened. And that awakening is also something that causes change and brings good old change into our life, because we start to see things in our life that don't work for us anymore. And we see that there are patterns that don't work. And we wonder what to do about them. And that can sometimes cause us anxiety. And so when you feel that way, it's really more about relaxing and letting things take care of themselves. And so not maintaining old patterns, but just seeing if those old patterns, when you are in your life in a more conscious way, will dissolve on their own. So that feels like the more graciously dissolving. It's sort of like a relationship. I'm not meaning anyone personal with this, but if there's a relationship that has gone through a lot of, turmoil, then if you come into a really high state of consciousness around it and you really see what it was about and you understand it, and it will just, if you get whatever lessons are involved there, it will just cease to be in your sphere. That person, it's always interesting, it's like suddenly gets a job on the other side of the world, or things like that happen, so that you're not so there is a graciousness as things move out of your sphere. So yes, I'm saying yes, it can happen, excuse me, with a lot of grace. So just allowing things to not to feel like you have to do things. It's more being with what's there and allowing them to evolve. And I hope that answers the question. If I didn't quite hit the question right, then ask it again. Caroline says, I am really enjoying all this conversation so much. I was wondering why I'm having so many dreams of working with others recently. I often combine Qigong and light body meditations and love the results. Yes. I would say you have dreams of working with others because that's what's going on, is that you are working with others and that you are a teacher in the dream world. And that, so that in the dream world, you are still working as being a teacher. So, so there's a continuity there between your waking time and your asleep time. And that's a good thing. And that's usually part of the process when you start to teach others more of these advanced skills and these meditations, is that they will show up in dreams. I've dreamed about people and had them show up as students, and much more often I've been in people's dreams, and then I've turned out, I've ended up being their teacher. So I think that often, even though the physical aspect of teaching happens in the physical world, that the teaching can happen on a lot of other levels in those other dimensions. And that's what is going on. And so I think that those are, the more deep and profound teachings and transmissions that you are giving. And I often combine Qigong with light body meditation and love the results. And that is great. As we just saying, doing your Qigong first, and then doing your light body meditation. And then, of course, like I said, and then going for a walk. It's pretty good kind of way to wedge in a few hours of the day when you get the opportunity. So, great. Okay, so Sylvia says, what personal sessions are you referring to? I've forgotten if that is part of our current program. Yes, everyone came in here at a certain level. If you look back at the page on the website, you'll see that you could come in and get like a half-hour session or an hour session or hour and a half session as a part of what you brought, or what level, you know, whether you came in at level 1, 2, or 3. So I had some different options there. And some people, I think maybe I had an option where you got it and you didn't have the personal sessions, but that was all, that's all on the website. And I have it written down whatever level you came in at. So you can just, anyway, take a look and see what you did. Oh, Luciana, yeah, that's exactly how I feel, like I've awakened. Good. Yeah, so that's it. That shaking up is you're getting shook up. You're getting woken up. So that's great. I'm glad that answered the question. Is there definitely no time limit to our accessing these webinar recordings with you? Well, we're great to have ongoing access to you. You know, I thought that there wasn't any, but then I went back and I was going to refer someone to, you know, the first and the second, and I couldn't find them. What I did have on there still is I still could find like the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So, but then there were like the very first ones. So I could find the intros and not all the intros, and then I could find these later ones. So it's a little confusing to me, and I have to figure all that out. So I wouldn't wait too long to go back and redo them. I wish that I will try and see how to make that happen. Now, I'm going to be you know, offering this course again. And I don't know how many students I will have, and I don't know if I'll be still using this platform. The platform I'm using right now allows 25 attendees only. And it will depend on how many people, but there may also be the opportunity to also, you know, come on when I'm doing the class again and participate. I like participants, you may have noticed. I like to have people asking questions and making comments. So, so I will be offering this whole section again, probably starting in September. So it'd be September, October, November, December, January, and February. And I'll probably also be starting another one in January. So I'll probably have a couple of them, you know, concurrent for a short term. So there'll be opportunities for people to get into it. And also the Self-Exciting starting in September. I'm not sure how many segments I want to make that one into. There's 24 meditations, and I might either break that down into 8 segments, 8 meditations over 3 months, or I may do it as like 6 meditations a month for 4 months. So I'll just have to figure that one out. I might just do it for the 3 months. So it's a 3-month commitment. Okay, so Debbie says hi, and sorry that I'm late, but I'm glad that you're here. So very glad. You need to come help me unpack too. You and Mario. That'd be fun. Anybody else want to come help me unpack? Yes, I mean, upstairs is not bad, but I have an office room. But I have a beautiful big office room that's going to be a teaching space. So it's full of boxes. It's a little scary, especially when I can't really lift things, and things are actually pretty heavy. So it's proving still to be a bit of a challenge. I think that this particular platform has done pretty well for us after the first few times when I didn't have it figured out. It's been much better now that I have had it figured out. yeah, so that's been good. And yes, so I'm not sure what my future holds in the way of what platform to use for the webinars. But it has been good, and it's been a really great group, and it's been just really exciting for me to get everybody's feedback as we've gone along with this, and especially when I get some feedback from people about how how this has really affected their lives, how it's affected their work, their inner world, their outer worlds evolving, is pretty exciting stuff. So I am interested in how many people would be interested in doing the next step. And so if you are on here, it'd be great if you let me know if you would be into that. And if you're listening to this, like what for me is tomorrow morning, and you are like, yes, let's keep going, then please let me know. And I have been talking to Luminescence about how to do this, and we're going to we will do it in very much the same way that you'll get downloaded meditations, and that will actually bring us up to, so we can do a sudden leap into something called, following that, called the light body consciousness, which is a really powerful series, and something that I worked on probably for about 3 years, I think, the light body consciousness. But anyway, and that's much more recent. So after this, these next 24 meditations, we can actually leap up, and I can teach that light body consciousness. It would be good to do also the filling in the frequencies, but I think that people want to probably move on, and the light body consciousness is a very powerful series, so that might be the way to go, because it depends on a few things. So, but anyway, I'll put that out there. And also, there's also filling in the frequencies, which is a much larger series than the self-exciting series. And the skills of the self-exciting are more important. The frequencies are awesome, and he, Dwayne and Daben kind of got into that during the last of the last two, I think, of the meditations on this series, as just sort of an introduction to what comes next. Okay, so any more questions before we jump into a meditation? I'm excited, wondering what will happen tonight. Always exciting. Never know where the guides will take us, and I'm excited to find out where it will go. We might turn the light on, even though it's still quite bright out. Being California, you guys are probably sweltering hot, but we have natural air conditioning, so we've had the fog roll in from the Pacific for the last couple of days, and it's kind of cool, which was a bit of a relief because we did have it smoking hot there for a while. But one thing about here is that it never does that for too long before it gets so hot that the that the heat sucks the cold Pacific air in, and we get some natural AC. So kind of enjoying that after the big bake. And we actually got some little bits of rain and mist coming down, and that was extremely pleasant too, because everything here is, dry, just like it is north of here, and kind of crazy. Okay, so I have a question. Luciana, it's getting late in the East Coast, so I'm going to log off. It's a pleasure, and I'll do the meditation tomorrow night. Good night. Yes. Good night, and happy being a light body graduate. Great. So Sylvia says, when are you planning to start the next level of 24 meditations? Are you scheduling Vic's next level for September 2015? Yes. And same as the repeat of the initial level. So I think I'm going to start another beginning level in September. And because I had a lot of people who want to do the beginning level, I think. So I'll put that out there again. And also at the same time, I'm going to concurrently will run the next level. The self-exciting will also start in September. It's just so that gives everybody enough time to have finished where they're behind in the Awakening series. So I want to give everyone time to be finished up and ready to go on with what's next. Okay, so I'm just, before the meditation, I'm going to take a moment and start the music so that we have some meditation music in the background. Okay, sorry about all that. Apparently iTunes does it again. I was just trying to do my iTunes and iTunes disappeared. It's like relaunched into some new iTunes that I couldn't, I've never seen anything like that before. So I guess I'm doing it without my music, because if I put the music on this particular computer, I think it would not be good for everyone to be able to hear. Maybe I'll try that. I'll try it from here and I'll do a test and you can tell me if it's okay. Let's see. Okay, so can you hear me with this music going on? If anyone wouldn't mind, like Mario, could you give me a heads up on this? If that works? So can you hear me and hear the music at the same time? If it's not a problem, I'm just going to keep going and I'll start to channel. Lights a little bright. Okay, so let's see. Well, good evening. We congratulate you on your achievement at whatever level you are at, and especially for those who have completed this series, for indeed it is a graduation. You have graduated into expanded way of being, a greater consciousness. You have developed and expanded your awareness to more of who you are, for indeed you are great beings, and through this practice and through this work you become more and more, you could say that you embody more and more of that, and indeed it is your consciousness and your conscious awareness that is embodying more and more of you. You are waking up to who you are. And indeed, as you were talking about earlier, that awake sleep border, that expansion that happens as you move into that density, and that bringing the light of awareness there brings it into the light. You are claiming it back from unconscious into conscious. And your world grows and you live in a more expansive state. Good. And breathing deeply now. And finding that posture that supports your meditation. It supports your breath, and that breath that supports your posture. And as you continue to breathe and find that inner posture that inner dynamic, an energy that holds you up, energy that radiates from you with each breath, bringing in light with your breath, becoming light with your breath, releasing any shadows and darkness. And just enjoying that as you relax and become more present, becoming aware of your body, breath, body, relaxing from the top of your head downward through the body, scanning through the body, and your awareness into that density of the physical. Yet as you practice, it becomes more and more alive with energy, and coming to your feet and dropping down into the earth and finding those transpersonal points of the earth beneath your feet. First, expanding outward into this grid work of the earth's energy, dropping to the second, expanding out into the third, feeling that connection of your being, of your energy to the earth, plugging in, inviting this grid work of energy and to support you on this physical plane, this vitality, this well-being, as it flows up through your feet, coming up through your body, coming up through your head, and again, coming to above your head, lifting your awareness to above you, spreading out of that first, the second, and the third transpersonal points above your head. Looking to those heavenly plane energies, and then dropping back down through the body, and coming back down now to the Nuya. Finding that cone, breathing, feeling that cone extending downwards. Nuya. Nuya. That contraction, that energy, that bringing in of these earth energies, this vitality. Nuya. Nuya. Just playing with this cone, adjusting the angle, coming up to the Dinya, the two spheres of the Dinya plane. Dinya. 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 And bringing your awareness, following out that plane all around you. Good. And now moving to the Liao, finding those spheres. Liao. Liao. Faster and faster. This movement, the spinning. Liao. Yow. Movement. Letting the movement be transparent to all the lifting and harmonizing frequencies. Movement. Movement. Now enjoying that movement, the Vranthya. Feeling that harmony and peace of the Vranthya. Enjoying that feeling. Movement. And then coming up to the Trayo and these petals. Trayo. And that softness. Paya. Paya. That sphere of the Paya. That movement in and out. Paya. Rinari. Rinari. Good. And finding the Rinari now, the Rinari cocoon. That flow of energy all around you, and just enjoying that. Being in that cocoon of energy. Rinari. Good. And then bringing your awareness center of the chest to that point of light. Finding that smaller and smaller, dropping in smaller and smaller until that light starts to become larger and larger. Follow-me. Good, moving through the Follonia now. Finding those balls of the Saha. Saha. That energy and that movement of those two spheres repelling each other. Saha. Saha. That downpouring of light now. Standing in that downpouring cone of light. Feeling that more and more intensely as the walls start to come down. And you are lifted upward through the V, rising up past that distant sun, planet, seeing that flower now. Whatever way you experience this, being just right for you. Rising higher. To a distant point of light above you. So higher and higher. Until you just begin to float here. And enjoying this peace, this harmony. This vibration and light. Feel now the presence of your guides or these great beings who are here to work with you, that are welcoming you, inviting you to go with them, to travel with them as we continue now on our journey. You're allowing yourself now to feel the sense of travel, the sense of movement. They are bringing you towards a beautiful realm of light. Shimmering golden city of stars. Shimmering world of light. Crystalline light. And these beings of this world now welcoming you. They are indeed glad that we are here to connect with them. They're not used to travelers here into this, their world coming from our world, and they are very grateful to make this connection with you. They are very evolved beings. They're here to share with each one of you their wisdom, and indeed each one of you has been greeted by one of these beings or many of these beings. Just relaxing into your experience here. Indeed, these beings are here to assist us also in going higher. If you can follow still, seeing these great vistas opening up, the worlds of light. Good, and relaxing now, expanding and letting yourself just be your experience here. Experiencing the beauty and the harmony of these worlds. Good, and then slowly beginning to move back. As you relax and expand, allow yourself to be, taking in this light, taking in these frequencies, wherever you are experiencing them. Good, and now you relax, letting yourself be lifted up now. Once more, this state of oneness. Being beyond experience. Beyond time and space and in the moment. Pure consciousness. Feeling the beauty, the power, the love, perfection. And it's here. We're relaxing more into this experience. And just another minute here, continuing to be our experience in the state, in space. beyond time and space. Good. Slowly and gently beginning to come back now. Back down. Finding that light body cocoon, core, that sphere. Letting yourself back in the cocoon. Begin to move from the core to the cocoon boundaries and back to the core. Before coming back now, back to the Felonia. Felonia. Rinari, nari. Rinari, nari. Back into the Renari cocoon. Moranthia. Just feeling now the quality of the Renari cocoon, having traveled out on this journey. Really coming back more and more. And feeling those earthly transpersonal points now beneath you. Good, and just allowing yourself to come back into the physical plane. Slowly, easily, gently, harmoniously. And with that, we would like to say it has been our great pleasure to work with you over this period of time. And we look forward to working with you in the future as you explore these worlds and we explore these worlds together. With that, we bid you a most fond good night. Whew. Okay, wow. That was, I don't know how many of you were able to track that one. That was awesome. I had had a really good time with that meditation. Very happy to be leading you on that one. Wow. What a great experience. Okay, I'm not sure about the lighting, working on it. Wow. Wow. Yay, Caroline. Yeah, that was an amazing journey we just went on. Whoa. I was like, whoa, can we really do this? Apparently we could. So that was great. That was a blast. Philip used to have something called the Interdimensional Travel Club, and he was totally interdimensional travel clubbing us. That was definitely an interdimensional traveling journey. It was amazing. So, hoping that many of you were able to track that, because, and if you weren't, try it again. It was pretty spectacular. It's probably time for last comments and good nights. And look forward to hearing who's wanting to do the next step with all of this. And we're definitely leaving that space for all of you to finish up with this space, with this series. So if you're out there and you are still conscious, would love to hear from you, how you did, how that journey went. Chris, okay, yes, an awesome journey. Great, I look forward to continuing it. Yay, okay. Chris, yes, thank you for leading that. I really enjoyed the energy of that. I was able to track it, I think. Well, don't think, as you know. I suspect you did. My guidance says that yes, you did track that. Yeah. Philip played amazing music, and one of the things that I saw where we went and where he was taking us was a place that I had been before, where his music had, that he, in states of consciousness, he brought in with his music. So that was really great to do it as a meditation, to go there as I recognized it. It's very special. Wow. Feeling blessed. Mario, thank you. Mario says that was great. Didn't want to get out of there. Yeah, I know. No, but it was getting towards 9 o'clock. Oh, let's see, it's past 9 o'clock. It's like, hey, we have to come back. But anyway, it'll be up on the morning or later tonight. I will have it posted. It takes 2 hours. It takes as long to post once I've finished it. And then it takes that long to go up. So, yeah, Mario, that was so great having you with us. And Debbie, anyway, so it's probably time to say goodnight. Thank you, Philip. That rocked. Yes. Okay. I was able to make it. I liked moving up into the light after the V. Not sure what happened then between going into the light and coming back to all the centers, but really enjoyed hanging out there. Yeah, that was, there were some beings who met us. And then they took us to this other kind of a world that was out there with all this kind of light. And anybody else can describe it better than me, that would be great. It was kind of golden, but then it was all the color stuff for me was really amazing. All these beautiful colors were happening and really could feel the presence of individual beings, and they seemed to be working on us all energetically. And then we were lifted up into another state. Like I thought we were going to come back, but it was like, no, we're still going. So they took us up somewhere higher, which was just very, very peaceful and still, but super beautiful. And again, some just amazing energy. Yes, the beings. Yeah, great, Chris. Yes, glad that you remember that now. Yeah, the beings. But then it was like the beings were with us for a while, but then we went up beyond that. So we sort of left them and were taken with the energy that somehow that gave us. They were like a stepping stone up into this other energy. And wow, yeah. So that was awesome. And I love doing this, so I really want us to continue. Okay. So for now, it's probably time to start to say goodnight. Good night and goodbye for now. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay. Any other comments out there? Ah, yes, Debbie, yes. Hey. Great, yes. Glad to have you continuing, Chris. Yay. Okay, Mario, yes, want to hang out with you. Weekend. Yes, that might be good. Let's talk on the phone. Caroline, yes, well, thank you for coming to the seminars. And of course, you're all invited to the big seminars in Medford. You make it there because those are really fun. And awesome experience. Okay, so because Caroline's already signed up for the next one, and so I need to sign up too. I always sign up, so they know I'm coming. I didn't sign up, I'm sure they'd call me and say what happened. So, okay, well, I'm just flying here, so. I'll say my good night. Aww. Okay. So any last good nights? Oh, Caroline. Yes. Okay, you had some experience. Okay, great. Yes. Thanks. Aw. Thanks, Mandy. Like the little winky smiley guy. Let me get those. Oh, look at them. Okay. How about all those? Hmm. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to say goodnight for now because I probably need to go and put more boxes away. So, lots of love to everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.